Commander Jeho Park sat in the quiet control room of Earth's deep space monitoring station. The screens around him showed the usual patterns of space noise and radio signals. He had done this job for 15 years, but tonight felt different. The coffee in his cup had gone cold, forgotten as he stared at an unusual signal pattern on his main screen. "This can't be right," he muttered, adjusting his headset. The pattern was too regular, too precise to be natural. He had seen many strange signals before, but this one was different. It repeated every 12 seconds, forming a clear mathematical sequence. Jeho's hands moved quickly across his keyboard, running the standard checks. His heart beat faster with each confirmation. This was it, the signal everyone had been waiting for. His finger hovered over the red button that would alert Earth's entire defense network. He pressed it. Within minutes, the quiet control room turned into a hub of activity. Scientists and military personnel rushed in, their faces showing both excitement and worry. Among them was Ambassador Neri Kim, Earth's top diplomatic expert. She had been chosen for her special ability to understand and connect with others, a skill that might now be more important than ever. "Show me everything," Neri said, pulling up a chair next to Jeho. Her calm voice helped settle the nervous energy in the room. As they watched, the signal changed. Numbers appeared on their screens, coordinates for a meeting point in space just beyond Earth's moon. The message was clear. Whoever sent this wanted to talk. Earth's leaders met quickly to make a decision. They chose to send a small team to the meeting point. Jeho would go because he found the signal, and Neri would go as Earth's representative. They also picked 3 scientists and 2 security officers. The team launched into space the next day in Earth's newest ship, the Hope. As they traveled, Neri studied the signal data again and again. "These patterns," she said to Jeho, "they're like a conversation starter. Whoever sent them wants to be friendly." Jeho nodded, but kept his hand near the ship's defense controls. "Friendly would be nice," he said, "but we should be careful." The Hope reached the meeting point exactly on time. Everyone on board held their breath as a large ship appeared in front of them. It was beautiful, with smooth lines that seemed to bend light around it. Next to it, the Hope looked like a child's toy. A voice came through their speakers, speaking in perfect Earth English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. We are the Galactic Council's first contact team. We have been watching your world for some time." Neri stepped forward to answer, her voice steady and warm. "We welcome you with open hearts and minds. I am Ambassador Neri Kim, and we are honored to meet you." The alien ship invited them aboard. After careful security checks, Neri and Jeho led their team through a connecting tunnel. They found themselves in a room that looked almost normal, except everything was slightly too tall, and the lights had a purple tint. Their hosts looked almost human, but their skin had a slight blue color and their eyes were larger. The alien leader introduced himself as High Counselor Ven. "We have much to discuss," he said, "particularly about your remarkable world." Neri noticed something in his voice. Was it worry? Fear? She couldn't be sure, but something wasn't right. High Counselor Ven brought up a hologram of Earth. "Your planet," he said, "is what we call a death world." The humans looked confused, so he explained. "A death world is a planet that should not be able to support advanced life. The gravity is too strong, the weather too extreme, the animals too dangerous. Yet you not only survived, you built a civilization." Jeho straightened in his chair. "Earth is perfectly normal to us," he said. "That's what makes you even more remarkable," Ven replied. "Your people have evolved to be incredibly strong and resilient. You can survive conditions that would kill most species in our galaxy. This makes many of our council members nervous." Neri understood the problem immediately. The aliens weren't afraid of Earth. They were afraid of humans. She needed to show them that human strength didn't mean human violence. "High Counselor," she said, standing up slowly to show she meant no harm, "may I tell you about Earth's pandas?" The aliens looked confused, But Neri continued. They're large, powerful animals that could easily hurt others. But instead, they spend their days eating bamboo and playing. Humans are similar. Yes, we are strong because our world made us strong. But we use that strength to protect, to build, to help others. She took out her tablet and showed them pictures of human life. Children playing, doctors helping patients, scientists working together, people from different countries sharing meals. Our strength lets us help those who need it. Our endurance lets us work hard to solve problems. We want to use these abilities to make the galaxy better, not to harm anyone. Jaiho watched as the aliens' posture changed. They began to relax, leaning forward with interest as Neri showed more examples of human kindness and cooperation. He smiled, realizing that Neri's emotional intelligence, something many would consider a soft skill, was turning out to be humanity's most powerful first contact tool. The meeting lasted several hours. By the end, High Counselor Ven was asking about setting up cultural exchange programs. Perhaps, he said, what we first saw as dangerous traits are actually gifts that could benefit us all. As they prepared to return to Earth, Neri received a data package from the Council. It contained information about thousands of alien species and their worlds. This is just the beginning, Ven told them. We have much to learn from each other. Back on their ship, Jaiho turned to Neri. You know what's funny? He said. They were worried about our physical strength, but it was our emotional strength that won them over. Neri smiled. That's the thing about humans, she said. Our greatest power isn't in our muscles or our ability to survive tough conditions. It's in our ability to understand others, to show kindness, to turn potential enemies into friends. As the Hope flew back to Earth, its crew began reading through the alien data. They had a lot of work ahead of them. Earth would need to prepare for its new role in the galaxy. But thanks to Neri's diplomatic skills and Jaiho's careful handling of first contact, that role would be as friends and allies, not as feared Deathworlders. The news of alien contact spread quickly on Earth. People were surprised to learn that their home was considered a Deathworld, but they were even more surprised to hear that their capacity for kindness had made the biggest impression on the aliens. In his control room back on Earth, Jaiho added a new protocol to Earth's first contact procedures. At the top of the list, he wrote, "Lead with friendship. Show them our hearts before we show them our strength." Neri, meanwhile, began planning Earth's first interstellar embassy. She knew that humans' unique combination of physical resilience and emotional intelligence would make them valuable members of the galactic community. The challenge now was to help other species see what she had shown High Counselor Ven, that the very things that helped humans survive their death world had also made them the perfect species to build bridges across the stars. Dr. Tawan Lee stared at the test results on his screen with growing excitement. After 3 months of studying human biology alongside alien species data, he had made an amazing discovery. What aliens saw as human weaknesses were actually powerful advantages. He picked up his phone and called his research partner, Do-hyun Kang. Do-hyun had come from the Galactic Council to help study humans, and his outside perspective had been incredibly valuable. "You need to see this," Taiwan said when Do-hyun arrived at the lab. "Remember how you said humans waste too much time sleeping?" Do-hyun nodded. His species only needed 2 hours of rest each day, and he had always found human sleep patterns strange. "Look at these brain scans," Taiwan said, pointing to his screen. "When humans sleep, their brains don't shut down. They process information in a completely different way. Our dreams help us solve problems and deal with emotions. Sleep makes us stronger, not weaker." Do-hyun leaned closer to the screen, his large eyes widening with interest. "This explains a lot," he said. "Humans often find solutions after sleeping on a problem. We thought it was luck, but it's actually your brains working in a special way." Taiwan smiled and brought up more data. "That's not all. You know how the Council thinks humans are too emotional. Look at these decision-making tests. The screen showed two groups solving complex problems. One group was human, and the other was from Du-Hyun's species, who prided themselves on pure logic. The humans made better choices, Du-Hyun said, sounding surprised. Yes, because our emotions give us important information. They help us understand situations better and make more complete decisions. What looks like an unstable response system is actually a sophisticated way of processing information. Their research continued to reveal more surprises. They found that human social bonds, which many alien species saw as a vulnerability, actually made humans incredibly resilient. When one human was weak, others would help, making the whole group stronger. They also discovered that Earth's harsh conditions had given humans unique abilities. The strong gravity had made their bones and muscles dense but flexible. The changing temperatures had given them excellent adaptation skills. Even Earth's many diseases had helped, creating immune systems that could fight off almost anything. One day, while they were working late in the lab, Du-Hyun asked Ta-Won a question that had been bothering him. If humans are so well adapted, why didn't you take over your planet completely? Why protect other species? Ta-Won thought about this. Because we learned that diversity makes us stronger, he said. Every plant, every animal on Earth taught us something important. By protecting them, we protected ourselves. He showed Du-Hyun pictures of Earth's ecosystems. See these rainforests. They're dangerous, full of poisonous plants and deadly animals. But they also provide medicines that save lives. The harsh oceans taught us about adapting to extreme conditions. The deserts showed us how to survive with very little. By learning from everything around us, we became stronger. Their research caught the attention of the Galactic Council. Soon, scientists from different species were visiting Earth to study with Ta-Won and Du-Hyun. Each visit revealed new insights about human adaptations. A scientist from a low-gravity world was amazed by human children playing. They fall down and get right back up, she said. Our young would break bones from such falls. Another researcher studied human cities. You build homes everywhere, in freezing mountains, hot deserts, wet rainforests. You adapt your surroundings instead of just living where it's easy. But the most interesting discovery came when they studied human art and music. Most species in the galaxy created art, but human creativity was different. Humans use their art to process emotions, tell stories, and connect with others. Your art helps you survive, Du-Hyun realized. It's not just beautiful, it's another adaptation. You use it to share information, build stronger groups, and deal with difficult experiences. Ta-Won agreed. We turn everything into a tool for survival, even our entertainment. But we also turn our survival tools into something beautiful. Their research led to a new understanding of human evolution. They wrote a report for the Galactic Council titled, The Adaptive Advantages of Human Weaknesses. The report explained how everything that made humans different, their sleep patterns, their emotions, their social bonds, had helped them survive on their death world. The council was fascinated. They had never seen a species that had turned such harsh conditions into so many advantages. More importantly, they had never seen a species that could teach others how to do the same. One evening, as Ta-Won and Du-Hyun finished another day of research, they watched the sunset from the lab's window. Earth's sun was stronger than many alien worlds, another condition that had shaped human evolution. You know what I've learned from all this? Du-Hyun said. The things we think make us weak often make us strong in unexpected ways. Ta-Won nodded. That's why humans survived on our death world. We never saw our differences as weaknesses. We turned them into tools, into art, into ways of connecting with each other. The next day, they started a new project. They would teach other species how to find strength in their own unique traits. Earth's harsh conditions had taught humans this lesson, and now humans could teach it to the galaxy. As word of their research spread, more alien scientists came to Earth. Each one arrived thinking they would study human strength, but they left understanding something more important: the power of adaptation, the strength in diversity, and the advantage of turning challenges into opportunities. Taiwan's lab became known across the galaxy as a place where species could learn not just about human biology, but about finding strength in their own unique traits. The death world that had shaped humanity was becoming a school for the galaxy. One day, a young alien student asked Taiwan why humans smiled so much, even when discussing serious research. "Isn't that a sign of weakness?" she asked. Taiwan smiled, proving her point. "On Earth," he said, "we learned that sharing joy makes hard work easier. When we smile, we remind each other that even on a death world, there is always something to be happy about. That's not weakness. That's one of our greatest strengths." And as if to prove his point, Du Hyun, who had never smiled before coming to Earth, showed his first awkward but genuine smile. The whole lab celebrated this small but important sign that perhaps humans weren't just adapting to the galaxy. The galaxy was beginning to adapt to humans too. Captain Sun Mai Choi received the emergency alert while training new recruits at the Earth Special Forces base. The message was brief but alarming. An unknown species had attacked 3 Galactic Council worlds with biological weapons. The Council needed Earth's help. Sun Mai called her best tactical expert, He Jun-yoon, to the command center. When he arrived, she showed him the reports from the affected planets. The biological weapon was an engineered virus that put most alien species into a deep sleep. It wasn't fatal, but it left entire planets defenseless. "Look at this," He Jun said, pointing to the test results. "The virus attacks the simple sleep cycles of most alien species, but human sleep patterns are different, more complex. That's why they need our help." Sun Li nodded. "The Council thinks we might be immune because of how our bodies evolved on Earth. They want us to help protect other worlds while they work on a cure." Within hours, Earth's leaders met with the Galactic Council. The hostile species, calling themselves the Shadowborn, had demanded that all Council worlds surrender to their rule. They had given the Council 3 days to decide. "We need your help," High Counselor Ven told the Earth representatives. "Your people are the only ones who might be able to resist this weapon." Sun Li's team ran quick tests and confirmed what they had suspected. Humans were immune to the sleep virus. Their complex sleep patterns, which alien species had once seen as a weakness, now protected them from the Shadowborn's weapon. "We'll help," Sun Mai said, "but we'll do it our way." She turned to He Jun. "Tell them about your idea." He Jun stepped forward. He had been studying how humans dealt with threats on Earth. The Shadowborn expect everyone to think like they do, to see this as a simple fight of strong against weak. But humans learned something different on our death world. We learned that the best defense often looks like kindness. He explained his plan. Instead of fighting the Shadowborn directly, Earth's forces would focus on protecting and helping the affected planets. They would show the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their immunity to the virus. It was their ability to care for others. Sun Mai led the first mission to a planet called Luminara. When her team arrived, they found most of the population in a deep sleep. The few who were awake were scared and struggling to take care of their sleeping friends and family. "First priority is medical care for the sleeping," Sun Mai ordered. "Second is helping the awake population with food and supplies. Third is setting up defenses in case the Shadowborn return." Her team worked tirelessly. Human doctors taught the awake luminarians how to care for their sleeping people. Human engineers helped keep their cities running. Human soldiers stood guard, but they spent more time helping with daily tasks than fighting. The Shadowborn hadn't expected this response. They had thought that any species strong enough to resist their weapon would use that strength to take control. Instead, humans were using their immunity to help and protect others. On the second planet, He Jun noticed something interesting. "The Shadowborn's weapon isn't just attacking sleep patterns," he said. "It's attacking the parts of alien brains that handle emotions and social bonds. They're trying to isolate people, make them easier to control." Sun Li understood. "But that won't work on humans either. Our emotional connections make us stronger, not weaker." She thought for a moment. We need to show them that. She ordered her teams to organize community support groups on every affected planet. Humans worked alongside awake aliens, teaching them how to stay strong together, how to support each other through the crisis. They shared Earth's knowledge about handling difficult situations as a community. The Shadowborn watched in confusion as their weapon failed to create the fear and chaos they had expected. Instead, they saw humans and aliens working together, supporting each other, turning a crisis into a reason for unity. On the third day, when the Shadowborn demanded the Council's surrender, they received an unexpected response. High Counselor Ven, speaking from a planet protected by humans, invited them to talk. "We have learned something important from our human friends," Ven said. "True strength isn't about having the most powerful weapons. It's about how we help each other in times of need." The Shadowborn leaders were confused. Their weapon had worked perfectly. But instead of creating vulnerability, it had revealed a different kind of strength. They watched as humans and aliens worked together, proving that cooperation was more powerful than fear. After a week of seeing their plan fail, the Shadowborn agreed to talks. They had never encountered a species that responded to an attack with help instead of hate. It made them curious. During the negotiations, Sunmai and Hejun explained how Earth's harsh conditions had taught humans to work together. "On a death world, you learn quickly that nobody survives alone," Sunmai said. "The strongest person can be defeated by a tiny virus, but a community working together can overcome any challenge." The Shadowborn learned that their weapon had failed because it targeted what they thought were weaknesses: complex sleep patterns, emotional connections, social bonds. But these were actually humanity's greatest strengths, developed over millions of years on their dangerous world. As the crisis ended and the Shadowborn withdrew, the galaxy had changed. Humans were no longer seen as just strong survivors from a death world. They were now known as protectors, teachers, and friends who used their strength to help others. In her final report to Earth's leaders, Sunmai wrote, "The Shadowborn's weapon failed because it was designed to attack the things that make humans special: our need for sleep, our emotions, our connections to each other. They didn't understand that on Earth, we learned to turn every weakness into a strength, every challenge into an opportunity to help others." Hejun added his own note. "We showed the galaxy that the lessons we learned on our death world weren't just about survival. They were about thriving together, about turning danger into safety, fear into friendship, and crisis into community." The crisis had proved what humans had been trying to tell the galaxy since first contact: that their greatest strength wasn't their physical resilience or their immunity to weapons. It was their ability to care, to help, to turn their own challenges into ways of supporting others. As Sunmai watched human doctors teaching alien medical teams, and Hejun organized community support programs across the affected planets, she smiled. Earth might be a death world, but it had taught its people the most important lesson of all: that true strength comes from helping others, and that the best way to survive is to make sure nobody has to survive alone. 1 year after the Shadowborn crisis, Representative Minji Song stood before the Galactic Council. The Grand Hall was filled with beings from 1,000 worlds. She was there to present Earth's proposal for a new kind of partnership between species. "Earth taught us many lessons," Minji began. "Our harsh world showed us that true strength comes from working together. Now we want to share these lessons with the galaxy." The council members listened carefully. They had seen how humans had helped during the crisis. Now they wanted to know what else they could learn from Earth's Deathworlders. Dr. Jin Woo Cho, standing beside Minji, activated a hologram showing Earth's many environments. "Our world has deserts, frozen poles, deep oceans, and thick jungles," he explained. "Each place taught us something valuable. We want to use these lessons to help other species grow stronger." Jinwoo had spent months planning the interspecies cultural exchange program. The program would bring people from different worlds to Earth to learn how humans had adapted to their challenging planet. "But we won't just teach," Minji added. "We also want to learn. Each species has their own wisdom to share. The Council approved their proposal. Soon, Earth became a center for galactic learning. Alien students came to study in special centers built in different Earth environments. Each location taught different lessons. In the mountain centers, visitors learned how humans adapted to thin air and cold temperatures. Many alien species had never experienced such conditions. They were amazed to see human cities thriving in places where breathing was difficult. "Your bodies adjust to having less oxygen," one alien student said with wonder. "You grow more red blood cells to carry what little oxygen there is. You turn a problem into a solution." In the desert centers, aliens learned about conserving resources. They studied how humans and desert animals work together to survive in places with little water. The aliens were surprised to find that the harsh desert had taught humans to be more caring, not less. When resources are scarce, Jinwoo explained to a group, humans learned to share what they had. "We discovered that generosity helps everyone survive better than selfishness." The ocean centers were especially popular. Alien scientists were fascinated by how humans had learned to explore the deep waters of their world. Earth's oceans, more extreme than most alien waters, had pushed humans to develop amazing technologies. But the most important lessons weren't about physical adaptation. In every center, aliens learned about human emotions, creativity, and social bonds. They discovered that these traits, which they had once seen as strange, were actually advanced survival tools. Minji often visited these centers to see how the program was working. One day, she found a group of alien students watching human children play in a park. The children were from different countries, speaking different languages, but they had no trouble playing together. "This is what we mean by adaptation," Minji told the watching aliens. "These children will grow up knowing that differences make us stronger. They'll understand other species better because they learn to understand each other." The program grew quickly. Soon, humans were invited to teach on other worlds. They helped species that were struggling with environmental changes on their planets. Human expertise in adaptation became highly valued across the galaxy. Jinwoo led a team that helped a water world prepare for their first dry season in 1,000 years. "Your people survived worse on Earth," their leader said. "Please teach us how." The humans shared their knowledge about water conservation, but they also taught something more important: how to stay positive and work together during hard times. They showed how art, music, and storytelling could help communities stay strong through difficulties. Even the Shadowborn, who had once attacked the Council, sent observers to Earth. They were curious about how humans had defeated their weapon not through force, but through caring and cooperation. "We thought your emotional nature made you weak," a Shadowborn representative told Minji. "Now we see it makes you incredibly strong. You feel deeply, but you use those feelings to help others." As more species learned from Earth, something unexpected happened. The galaxy began to change. Species that had always kept to themselves started working together. Worlds that had been enemies for centuries began to cooperate. "Earth isn't just teaching us how to survive," High Counselor Ven said during a council meeting. "It's teaching us how to live better, how to turn our differences into strengths." Minji and Jinwoo's program had another interesting effect. As aliens learned about Earth's harsh conditions, they stopped seeing humans as scary Deathworlders. Instead, they saw humans as teachers and friends who had learned valuable lessons from their difficult world. One day, a young alien student asked Minji why humans smiled so much when teaching about survival on their dangerous world. "Because we learned that joy is also a survival tool," she explained. "When things are hard, happiness helps us stay strong. When we share that happiness, it helps others stay strong too." 5 years after the program began, the Council made a historic decision. They changed Earth's classification from Death World to Adaptation Center of the Galaxy. It was a simple change that meant something important. Earth was no longer seen as a dangerous place that created fearsome beings. It was now known as a place where the galaxy's species could learn to be stronger together. Jinwoo celebrated this change by organizing a special event. Species from across the galaxy gathered on Earth to share their own survival stories. Each one taught the others something valuable. It was exactly what the program had hoped to achieve, a galaxy learning from each other's strengths. Minji's final report to Earth's leaders summed up what they had accomplished. We turned our harsh world into a school for the galaxy. We showed that adaptation isn't just about surviving. It's about helping others survive too. Earth's greatest gift to the galaxy wasn't our physical strength or our immunity to dangers. It was our lesson that the best way to face any challenge is to face it together. As she finished her report, Minji looked out her window at the new Galactic Learning Center being built in Seoul. Aliens and humans worked side by side on the construction, each bringing their own special skills to the project. It was a perfect symbol of what Earth had become. Not a death world that created tough survivors, but a place where the galaxy's species learned to turn their challenges into chances to help each other grow stronger.